Hey TRU Kids team, today we're going to take some time and we're going to talk about some new strategies that we'll be implementing in our classrooms so that we can foster environments that allow kids to learn about the big God story and learn about God and His love for us, and also encourage positive behaviors. So a couple of the things that we're going to implement over the next few weeks and next month will be, number one, an anchor chart. And I'll explain that to you in just a little bit. And also we'll be implementing a 3 strikes and you're out policy. So first of all, our anchor charts are basically just charts or a paper that we'll have posted in our classroom that our kids are going to anchor their learning to. And the chart's purpose is to help kids know what is expected of them behaviorally in our classroom environments. So we'll have 2 different charts that we'll go through today, and I'll model for you what that looks like when you're delivering it to your classrooms. So over here is our Wonder Classrooms anchor chart. It'll look something like this for you on Sunday morning. And as you get started with your big God story time, just take some time, probably 5 minutes, engaging upon the kids' engagement. You can go a little longer or a little shorter. So basically for our Wonder age group, these are preschoolers and kindergartners who really need to have something tangible to understand it. They have a harder time understanding something when they can't see it or experience it right there in front of them. So we want kids to know that Jesus is our friend. That's something that these little guys can understand, friendship. And also that Jesus wants us to love Him just like He loves us, and to know Him. And so we'll have the kids engage into this thinking time by asking them, what would Jesus do if He was in our classroom? How would Jesus act when He is learning about God's love and learning more about the big God story? So I've got my students here with me today, Melissa and Lisa. They are awesome students, and they're going to be preschool kindergarten age for me today. And I'll model for you how we'll introduce this to that age group. Hi guys, how are you today?
Good. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Are you ready to learn today?
Yes,
I am too. All right, well, you guys have friends?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah?
Yep.
Like, who's your friend?
My sister.
Yeah, and who's your friend?
My mom.
Good. I have friends too. Do you know what? Jesus is your friend. Do you know that?
That's so cool.
Yeah, Jesus is your friend, and Jesus loves you so, so, so much. Do you know how Jesus shows His love to us? Do you know? Did He die for us?
Yes.
Take away our sins and forgive us?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, He did. And He wants us to know Him. He wants us to know God. So do you know what? Today we're going to pretend. I want you to pretend with me. Can you do that?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Good, okay.
I like to
So
pretend.
we're going to pretend that Jesus is in the room with us.
Okay.
Can you pretend that our friend Jesus is here with us? Good. So if Jesus was here today for our big God story time, or if He stuck around for our small group time, I want you to pretend that. What would Jesus do if He was in our classroom with us today?
He'd play with us.
He would play with us.
Mhm.
Would He play rough?
No.
How would He play?
He would play nice.
Play nice, yeah. So what would Jesus do? He would play nice. So team, when you write things down, make sure that you verbalize what you're writing down. Try to take the kids' words and get them up there because that makes sense to them. You might have to do a little bit more explaining so that their friends understand, but try to use the kids' words. And we'll refer back to this often enough that even though it's written in print and they can't read, they'll start to make the connection that what they say matters, and we have it on the paper for our classroom to follow those ideas. So we're going to play nice, that's right. So, okay, what else? What else would Jesus do? If it's our big God story time, how would He act?
He would be quiet and listen.
Yes, listen. Because if you're listening, can you be loud and making noises and drumming?
No.
Rolling around?
No.
No. Listen and be quiet. That's right.
Like I have to do nap time.
Right. Yeah,
To be
Mama
really
and Daddy want
quiet.
you to be trying to teach us during our big God story time. So we're going to play nice. We're going to be quiet. We're going to listen. Good. What else would Jesus do? Yes, Lisa?
We should raise our hand when we want to answer a question.
Raising hands.
I don't
Yes.
like to raise my hand.
Well, that's okay. You know what? I'm going to remind you to raise your hand. If you blurt something out, I'll say, oh, that's a good idea. Raise your hand. I'll remind you. It's okay. Raise your hand. You know what? I think I can draw a picture of that. There's your hand up, okay, Melissa? There's your hand. That look like your hand?
Kind of.
Kind of. Good. All right. Well, would Jesus, like, run around the classroom, touch his friends?
No.
No. That's so
You're
crazy.
funny.
Yeah.
How would his body do? What would his body do during our story time and during our small group time?
Ooh, he would sit nicely.
Ooh, yeah. Sit nicely. How do we sit nicely? What does that look like?
Sit with our hands in our laps.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so sit nice.
No, we don't touch each other.
No.
Right. And so we're going to have hands in lap. So there's no touching. That's right. Okay. What about our legs? What are our legs going to do when we're sitting nicely?
They should be crossed.
Crisscross applesauce?
Crisscross applesauce.
I love it, Lisa. Yes, crisscross applesauce.
Oh, what if I don't like sitting crisscross applesauce?
What if you don't like sitting
It
crisscross?
makes my knees hurt. I don't like it.
Well,
Can I sit with my legs straight out
yes.
and just be really
If
quiet
you're-
that
if-
way?
If you're sitting nice with your
Okay.
hands in your lap, yeah, then you can do that.
Okay.
Yeah, crisscross applesauce is a good idea though, so I'm gonna
Okay.
keep writing that down.
Okay.
Crisscross applesauce. Good. Okay. These are some really great ideas, guys, and over the next couple of weeks, we're going to talk about these things because we want to know would you read that with me? What would Jesus do? One more time. What would Jesus do? What would Jesus do if he was in our classroom? And that way we can start to become more and more like Jesus. And we can know about his love, and we can know about him and God even more. So I'm going to save some room on here so we can add more to it maybe next time. But you know what? Oh, what is it, Miss?
Can I go to the bathroom?
Not yet. I'm going to have you wait for 3 minutes because I've got 3 minutes. See that? Do that with me. 1, 2, 3. Three things I want to share with you in this next 3 minutes, okay? I'll make it quick. Get your ears ready, Miss Melissa. Get them ready. Because if they're not listening, you don't hear this, something might happen later on and you'll be sad that you didn't hear it.
Crisscross applesauce.
Please, thank you. Okay, so you know what? Sometimes we're able to do what Jesus is doing just right, and we can go like this. Yes, I'm doing a good job in my heart. Between me and Jesus, I know I'm doing a good job. Can you give me a thumbs up? Because that means good job, right? Sometimes I might make an oopsie, and I might do something that I know is not good. And that's thumb to the side. That's not so good. We can improve. We can do better, right? So when we have those times that are like this, when we go, oops, oh, that was the wrong thing to do. It happens. I do it sometimes. There's a couple things you need to know. If it happens one time, the first time, I'm going to give you a warning, and I'll say, hey, let's not run in the classroom, or I'll tell you what you're doing that's not right. And I'll try to help you do the right thing. So the first time you get a warning, I'm going to say, stop, don't do that. The second time, if you keep doing it, you keep having, then you know what? I'm going to have you go sit by yourself. And your teachers might come and sit with you too. And if I can't help you, I might have to call Pastor Aaron in to come sit with you. That's not good because you're going to miss out on our fun, right? Yeah. Okay, if you keep doing it, that's a real big oopsie, right? Can you say, oopsie?
Oopsie.
Really? Not good. Then I'm going to have to call Pastor Aaron, and she's going to have to take you out of the classroom. And you won't get to be with us for the rest of the time. How does that make you feel, Lisa?
Makes me feel really sad.
Me too. I want you to be in our classroom.
I want to have fun.
Me too. So let's remember that. If you have a time where you make a mistake, then we're going to give you a warning. And if you keep doing it, you have to sit out. If you keep doing it, which is really not good, you're going to have to leave. And we're going to tell mom and dad or grandma and grandpa or whoever it is that brought you here today. They're going to know that maybe you need to think about some of the things you're doing. Okay? Sound good?
Sounds good.
All right. So team, that was a reenactment or a modeling of what it might look like in your classroom on Sunday as you introduce these concepts to the Wonder age group. I want you also to stick in there if you're part of the Wonder group to see what the older kids are doing, because there might be a time where you're asked to step up and lead in the older classrooms. It's very, very similar, but we're going to step it up and have a slightly different approach to meet their comprehension level. So, okay, so our next anchor chart is God with us, God in us. And these kids are able to comprehend that God is with us. They've heard enough of the big God story that they understand that God is with us whether we can see him or not. And we want them to start to understand that God is in us and he's working to teach us, to transform our hearts from the inside out and make us into the people that he wants us to be. So we'll entitle this chart, God with us, God in us. You may have to do some explanation with your students to help them understand that as you introduce this chart. So I'll do that here with my students, Lisa and Melissa. One more time, these are 1st through 6th graders. All right. Hey guys, how are you doing today?
Good. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Do you guys like to have fun in our classroom?
Yeah.
Yeah. What are some things that you like to do, Miss Lisa?
I like to play with my friends that I see on Sundays.
I hear ya. I like getting together with you too. What about you, Melissa?
I like to swim and play.
Yeah. Good. Well, you know, we have a really good time in here. We have lots of opportunities to play. Absolutely. Well, today I want to talk with you about something that I've noticed in our classroom. Sometimes there's loud behavior or there's some running around or maybe not listening. And so, you know, your teachers and we got together and we were thinking we need to kind of set some standards for our classroom so that everybody can learn and everybody can have fun. Okay? So today we're going to talk about God is with us and God